The Exorcist Believer. Alright guys, we got something a bit different today. We were very lucky to see the preview screening of The Exorcist Believer. Thank you very much to Universal Pictures Australia for that invite. So we have a couple of things we want to do first. We want to quickly talk about the event and then we'll go into the movie. So of course, check the chapters below if you just want to skip straight to the review itself. But first, I just want to give a big old thank you to Universal Pictures Australia, and I'll slap in some videos so you guys know exactly what the event was like. It was really good. You got your free popcorn, drink and all that kind of stuff. Got to take a really nice cool picture with my mate Lee from Lights Camera Rant, and honestly it was just such a good time. I got to meet a couple more content creators. We got to meet a spokesperson for Village and for Universal. I just felt like I finally got to get around people, and honestly it was just great. I felt like I achieved something going to one of these screenings. I feel like I finally got a contact per se, and it just felt really good to be around. And frankly, seeing a movie early, just you feel a bit special. You feel a bit special, and you get, you obviously get like for me myself, I got 2 days to quickly nut out a video such as this and really kind of let my thoughts seep in about the movie and see what I actually thought. So without further ado, that was the event, and it was a lot of fun. I will 100% be going to another one. I've got a contact for Universal there, and I really will be probably annoying them quite a lot to get some movie tickets. But anyway, let's get straight into the review. So The Exorcist Believer. So the original Exorcist came out in 1973. So this is a big leap. I'm not quite sure what they really hope to get here, because I know this is a lot of people's #1 horror movie. So tackling reimagining or a complete remake was always going to be a tough one. It was always going to be a tough one. But a little bit of context, I love horror movies, but I love watching them at home. The last horror movie I saw in the cinemas was probably when I was about 16, 17, and I walked out of the cinemas. I was only seeing The Wolfman of all things. I've gone back and watched that movie, and I was like, yeah, I get why I left, but at the same time, grow up. Anyway. Anyway, but like The Exorcist, I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time enjoying this movie, because I have already seen there's been a bad first impressions for people that have gone and seen early screenings and kind of thrown their thoughts out when they maybe shouldn't have. But what I can tell you right now, is someone that hasn't seen the original, who is a fan of horror movies, I had a good time. Honestly. So the way I could best describe it is if I can cut the movie in half. The first half is fantastic. I had such a good time with the character development. It really got me hooked in with the daughters, and actually I got really involved. I thought it was really good. I was even on the edge of my seat expecting some jump scares or some actual horror elements. And in saying that, there's probably about 3 jump scares, and you probably saw them coming a mile away. But there was one moment that did kind of shake my skin quite a bit. I was like, oh, okay, sleeping is going to be interesting tonight. But I still really enjoyed it. But as I said, the second half is where it lost me. There was a certain part, I can pinpoint the exact part. But however, we are doing a non-spoiler review, but we might chuck in some spoilers all the way at the end of the video. So jump in the little chapter section if you do want to see those spoilers. But of course, the second half, I feel like it lost its horror element. I was no longer afraid. I was no longer scared or worried about what was going to happen. I wasn't worried about jump scares. I wasn't worried about any of it happening. That something happened in the middle, and I was like, I feel like now we're making fun of ourselves, if that makes sense. When you watch a horror movie and something happens, you're like, alright, you're all a bunch of idiots. What are you doing that for? It was very similar to that kind of situation. So something like that happened, and then I ended up sitting there going, you lost me. You did that and you lost me, and unfortunately I enjoyed it. I still had a good time. I kept watching, and of course I walked out of the theater going, you know what? I had a great time. Good stuff. That was good. But as a horror movie, as a thriller, was I scared? Not one bit. Not one bit. Did it cause me to jump? No, it didn't. It had my skin crawling for one moment. One moment which I thought was really done well. A bit obvious, but that was it. So unfortunately, I do think a lot of people aren't quite going to like The Exorcist Believer, and especially when they plan to potentially make a trilogy out of this, it's going to be very hard for them to do that, because I don't think it's going to be very well received. Because if I'm sitting here, someone that didn't watch the original Exorcist, and I'm sitting here going, oh, it was okay, but that's it. Like, it was good, I enjoyed it, but me personally, I probably wouldn't have paid to see it. Well, the people that did like The Exorcist from 1973, sorry, from 1973, then they're definitely not going to like it. So, we'll see what happens after this, but The Exorcist Believer, I mean, to me, it was a solid 5. If I could give it out of 10 rating, a solid 5 out of 10. Yeah, I had a great time. I enjoyed the movie. The first half, once again, the characters was so good for me. The 2 little girls, the actresses, were fantastic. The dad, what was his name? Leslie. I've got my notes here. Leslie. He did a fantastic job. They were all fantastic. They were great. But then it kind of started making fun of itself. It no longer became a horror. It became more of a drama with a bloody devil. I'm just saying, like, oh, I still really enjoyed it. I still would recommend giving it a watch if you are a fan of The Exorcist, just to really hear your opinion of it. But for me, a solid 5 out of 10. Not the best movie, not the worst. A good time. That's about it. But that's me. You know what? We're just traveling into movie reviews. Obviously, you can tell this is a lot different from what I normally do. I'm very much a gamer, a streamer, but we are branching out, people. We are branching out. We're going to do some movie reviews, maybe some TV show reviews, and I hope you stick around to see them all. I really do. So, of course, like, comment, subscribe to get over our 1K goal by the end of the year. Please, thank you very much. And stay tuned for a little bit of spoiler review talk right after this. I'll see you later. Bye. Alright, now that we're talking spoilers. So, if we're talking spoilers, if you've seen the movie, of course, you know what I'm about to talk about. So, in the middle of the movie, we have one of the girls was Ellen. Ellen, she rocked up, and she's from the original Exorcist, from what I've found out. Like I said, I haven't seen the original, so I'm sorry. But when she walked up those stairs to tackle one of the little girls that was possessed, and they're talking about her daughter and how, you know, she doesn't know if she's alive or dead, and then the demon goes and picks up a holy cross, stabs her in the eye, and stabs her in the other eye, and then makes a comment, if you want to see your daughter, just open your eyes. And it had me in, I was rolling my eyes, man. It had certain cinema moments where it happened, and then you had little zoom in moments of her eyes where she's holding her eyes and she's going, and it's like, you lost me on it. Straight up, if you wanted to make it more threatening, more meaningful, kill her off. Should have killed her off then and there, and it actually would have probably maybe even fixed my issue with it. But that moment in the movie is where it went from interesting, thriller, curious to see what happens, to, oh, I feel like we're making fun of ourselves now. Oh, okay. And from that point onwards, none of it became scary. None of it. It all just became a good watch. But that's not what you want out of The Exorcist. That's not what you want. Which is a bit unfortunate, but you know what? You can't win it. You can't win them all. It was unfortunate, but you can't win it all. But that was the moment. So my spoiler review section is just pretty much that. That one moment broke it for me. The characters were fantastic. The start was fantastic. I loved everything that happened with the wife. And I'm just saying, when we found out that he chose the wife over the daughter, but obviously the daughter ended up surviving, yeah. I honestly thought he chose the daughter, and I was like, no, man, you choose your wife. What are you doing? Anyway, we ended up finding that out, and I do love the little, you know, misconception thing of what happened there. The devil gave the same situation, and obviously the same result happened. They chose one, they got the other. I get it. Well done. But all in all, I stick to my 5 out of 10 rating, and that's alright. That's fine. That's all good. We'll see another one here. So once again, like, comment below. What did you think of Exorcist Believer? Are you going to see it? Have you seen it? Were you waiting for reviews? How is this review? This is actually my first proper review into movies. So please, by all means, comment down below. Let me know what you think. And of course, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.